Moving along, something sweeter than ever is about to happen. We're going to make a very classic Southern candy treat, pecan pralines. If you've ever been to New Orleans, I hope you had one there. But we make them here, and we've made them in the South for years. They can be a little fiddly, as the British are apt to say, but we've kind of learned to do it. And we use our candy thermometer, and it gives us a lot of confidence that it's going to come out the way we want to. Let's look at what we're going to use to make these pralines. We're going to use 6 tablespoons of butter, a cup and a half of plain white sugar, a cup and a half of brown sugar, a cup of evaporated milk, not whole milk, not sweetened condensed milk. If you don't have evaporated milk, you can use half and half. But we've got evaporated milk. We're going to use that. A pinch of salt and 2 cups of chopped pecans, and they'll go in later. Just going to show you how we're going to stir this together to get it ready to start to cook, and then I'll bring you back as it starts to boil and gets closer to done. So we're going to put our sugars in the pot. The white is in, the brown is in, and our cup of milk. Got that in there. We're going to stir that together. The caramely, sweet, fudgy, oh, so delicious. Got that stirred together. There's some lumps in that brown sugar, but as it boils, they should cook out and it shouldn't be a problem. We're going to go ahead and put our butter in. We won't put the vanilla in until the end, just like we always do. So we've got our butter. We've got a pretty good sized pinch of salt to balance. Let's look at the ingredients. We've got our granulated sugar, our brown sugar, our salt, evaporated milk, and butter. We'll do the vanilla and the pecans later. So I'm going to turn this on. I'll put the candy thermometer in. We're going to cook it to softball stage. I'm going to use my trusty candy thermometer. It says to somewhere between 235 and 240. I will probably do 236. That's my favorite number, that kind of is the middle of those two things. I'll see you back when it's starting to boil and you can kind of see how it looks, and I'll take you through the rest of the process. The pralines have gotten to 236 degrees. Look how bubbly and caramely that is. Doesn't that look yummy? It's going to sit and cool all on its own for 5 minutes. At the end of that 5 minutes, we're going to add our vanilla and our pecans, and we'll beat it until we're able to scoop it into these very cute little Christmas muffin cups. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I know it's not even Thanksgiving yet, but we're already getting ready for that holiday season. So I'll see you back in just a few minutes. The pralines have been cooling for 5 minutes. They've cooled down to 193 degrees from 236. We're going to take that out. We're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. Yep, if I ever measured it in a spoon, I don't know what would happen. And we're going to add our pecans. And then we're going to stir that together. We will beat this with a wooden spoon until it starts to thicken and it starts to lose that shine, a little bit like when we do the fudge. So I'm going to beat it, and I'll bring you back when we get ready to start dipping it up. Okay, it's ready to dip, and now we have to move quickly because there's a fine line between ready and too hard. We're going to dip this into little muffin cups like that. I think they're going to be adorable. We got to move pretty quick. So I'm going to keep dipping, and I'll come back and show you what they look like when we're all finished. They're all dipped, and they look delicious and beautiful. I put them in these little muffin liners because when I take them to market, they're a lot easier to put into some kind of package, either a box or a bag or whatever I'm going to package them in. Makes it a lot easier to do. I'm very happy with how they turned out. I think they're going to be delicious, and I hope there'll be a big seller on Saturday when we go to Mistletoe Market.